Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance, where today I'm going to play as Eden and see where we go. Ultimately, I just want to get some more clears on the whatchamacallit, the cathedral. The fact that we once again got Jacob's Ladder is proving that we're going to have a good run today, I feel. It's at least going to make a decently fast basement here. And it means that there's potential to go for Hush. We have done boss rush on this character already. But if we could just get Hush out of the way, I think if we beat Hush one more time, we're gonna start unlocking some more things as well. So that would be wonderful. We get some sad bombs so we don't need to worry about our bombs for a minute. I genuinely have no idea where my secret room could be, because it looks like we have once again a great shaped basement here. There is a pill there that's the same one that I'm currently holding in my hand, so if it's good, then that's actually pretty tempting, but if it's bad, then it's just two bad pills, so it's like, I can't really afford a bad trip right now with my 2 soul hearts worth of health, but who knows. The converter, I could turn this into red hearts, I think. I think it's just 1 red heart per soul heart these days, so that's probably not actually a terrible idea thinking about it. But let's see what happens here. There's a tears up, so that's good. There is a secret room probably to the right of this room or above this one. It could be either, I think. There we go. A lucky day. And we have a lucky penny, so that's a luck up. We have 5 coins, so we can get an arcade room on the next floor, and I'm tempted. I'm tempted by just taking this pill for fun, you know? I'm just gonna do it. It's pheromones. Never mind, it's not really worth it. Can't really do anything else there, I think, so let's just keep on moving. Try to go for Hush. But at least now we know one of our pills, so that can be good. If it is indeed 1 soul heart per heart container, then it's very tempting to use this if we get a decent devil deal, because then I think we can change the price of most things to just cost red hearts instead, and it would still be a little bit of expensive if we're not getting any more, but it would be kind of nice at least. We do have the keys available to go into this room. I don't know if it's a good idea, but in the end I ended up getting yet another lucky penny, so if we have some luck-based items, that would be good. We got a bunch of money as well, so our shop is very tempting to go to. And also, I'm not sure if you can technically die from Converter. I genuinely haven't used Converter in so long, because it just used to be not very good, but in Repentance, they have definitely improved it a bit to make it more usable. So, tempted. Tempted for sure. Didn't really check for Tinted Rock so far either, because I'm in a hurry. I just want to make it to Hush today. Since with a start like this, it's just so much more likely that you're actually going to make it as well. And now I'm just going to shoot fires for the next 5 minutes instead. But yeah, definitely it seems worthwhile to go for, I would say. My secret room might be next to here as well. I do think this room also seems to imply that it's probably going to be there, but look at how quick Jacob's Ladder is dealing with these enemies as well. Many of these rooms are just getting almost insta-cleared here, so it's just very wonderful. That's health right there, which is not bad. I don't really care about the other things, although Mr. Me is pretty good. It's tempting if I can get 2 more coins, actually, then I might actually go for that, because now actually knowing how the item works has made it a bit more interesting, because apparently the stealing mechanic is just a thing that works like 50% of the time or something like that, which is why we got the noise last time I tried to steal from a devil deal, even though it worked another time. So if I could just steal from a devil deal that way, that's actually really tempting. I could blow up another shopkeeper. We're getting a decent amount of bombs as well, so that's pretty good. And that's a black heart right there. I will use the converter once, and it did turn my 1 black heart into a red heart container, so that is also not bad. I'm just gonna blow this one up. We got 2 coins. I'll take the 2 red heart containers and be on my way. Let's hope for the best, but this has just kind of made it a better build. Just having some red hearts available is just very nice. Larry Jr. is really the main boss you ever want to see if you have Jacob's Ladder, because look at how quick that goes. And we have... Oh, if I could get that, I'd be very happy. Definitely gonna try. Please. Unfortunate. Because flight is just so good. It reduces so many risks in so many ways. It means that I can go into my curse room right here and only lose half a soul heart instead of a full one. I might use the converter one more time to at least have one red heart container though. That does seem tempting. I will also just grab that. I think that's more or less everything we can do on this floor. We once again are going to leave with 5 coins, I think, so... Still had that possibility to get another arcade room as well. And yeah, our health isn't great, but it's manageable, I'd call it. I guess I could have gotten another half a battery, because I think there was one left on the floor, and use that to maybe steal from the shop once more, but oh well. I'm not going to worry about it too much. There is a tinted rock right there with a soul heart inside it, so that is lovely. Probably could have just used Mr. Me instead of a bomb there, but I didn't have it charged yet, so I didn't. That room becomes less of a problem because of my flight. So I'm happy about that already. It is already paying off. I'm tempted to look for my super secret room in that previous room right there. But the spectral tears also are just so nice to have with this item, because it just... If I can just keep hitting enemies, then things are gonna die, and that's a good thing. I might be able to steal that soul heart, and I will try that. Nope, maybe next time. It is gonna charge pretty quickly in any way anyway, so that's pretty good. I'd rather just not spend the money if I can avoid it, because I just don't have that much. If there's like a particularly large amount in my item room, or in my secret room rather, then it might be tempting to just buy it, but when I only have 7 coins, I wouldn't mind at least trying thievery a few times, you know? Seems like it could work out. And maybe I could get some more damage as well. That would actually be pretty great. I mean, so far this is pretty effective for sure, but my tier damage, while not quite the lowest it can be, it's not amazing. I'm just touching the data miner. And that's the end of that. And I should probably try one more time. I probably shouldn't try one more time for the thing there, the soul heart. I should just try for the devil deal if I get one, I suppose. Let's see what we got. We got pestilence right here. But really, in the end, as long as I can at least... Let me just do this. Yeah, that works. As long as I can at least go to the cathedral, then I'm happy enough with this run. If I can get that for free, I'm even happier, though. God, just doesn't want to do it today. I do kind of want that, though, so I will just take that, even though it is going to put me in a rather precarious health situation. Our luck is 11.35, which is almost certainly going to go away pretty soon, but it would be nice if we could retain it. Slightly tempted by the curse room, although I think my health is definitely not going to make that a wise decision. And let's just do this as well. I think it's fairly unlikely that my bombs and keys and coins are ever going to be the same amount, so I will just leave equality on the floor there. But it's one of those trinkets. If I didn't already have this luck trinket, never mind. We're taking equality today, because I forgot how to dodge things. And that does happen on occasion. Does mean I also have to be a little bit more careful, because it made our health even more precarious, unfortunately. But hopefully it's not going to end up being too big of a deal. We haven't died yet this series, I suppose, and at some point there will be a first time for that. Almost certainly. It's unlikely I'm going to beat this entire game without ever dying. And today could genuinely be the first one. I almost just flew into that spiky rock right there, so... even more evidence that it can happen at really any time. Plus I'm pretty tired today as well, so there's just a lot of ways that this can all fall apart rather quickly. I'm mostly doing this room right now rather than first going back to the shop, is just because I don't want to go all the way back there. I think my secret room is probably next to my shop and my item room there. And if it's not, I'll probably just move on. If I cannot steal it, I'll just buy the soul heart. But if I can just save myself these 5 coins, I'd be very happy, you know? Come on. There you go. That's a good thief. That's the kind of thievery I appreciate in my friend group. And it could have been below this room as well, I just realized, but it worked out. Alright, so far 2 soul hearts, not the best health situation I've ever had, but it's manageable for our goals. I would like to have effectively full health if we do somehow make it to Hush, I suppose, but I mean, you can't guarantee these things ultimately. Cannot see my health, but I know it's 2 soul hearts right now, so if I can just keep that in my mind, then that is fine. Large quantity of coins from that machine right there, which is lovely. And a room where technically I won't be able to take damage if I just fly over this hole here, so am I going to be patient enough for that? Almost certainly not. And as you can see, I just started flying all over the place, so clearly I'm not playing it very safe, but at the same time, if we want to make it to Hush, I do need to speed up at least a little bit. Simultaneously, the flies are dealing some extra damage here as well, so that is actually working out pretty decently. Don't know if there's a tinted rock or a super special rock in there, but I don't see it immediately, so I will just move on instead. And there is another boss room right there, which I could wait with for a little bit until at least I find my shop or something like that, maybe my item room. Again, I could just try to do it now in case I can maybe steal from my devil deal, but simultaneously with my health situation, I'd rather just try to find some health in case there is actually a good item in there. If dead cat or something is in there, that would more or less be ideal, but I'm not truly expecting it. Also with 2 soul hearts, I will just wait a little bit before using this. I'm just gonna fight Gurdy, not a problem. I think it's a champion, and it might just be the one that's just spawned stuff, but looks a bit greener than usual at least. Mostly just watch out for the spawns in the top right, because those are the flies that actually shoot at you. Other than that, apparently a petrified poop is behind him somewhere, so I might actually take that. Although I'm doubting it's really gonna be very effective, it's almost certainly going to be more effective than the equality trinket, unfortunately. But let's see what we get here. We get a damage up. And yeah, I'm just gonna fly around for a little bit on this floor, I say. The nice thing about Hush as well, over something like Boss Rush, is that you have 10 minutes to do 2 womb floors effectively. Most of the time at least, and that's really why I'm just taking my time here as well. I can be a little bit more explory on the earlier floors, which is rather nice. I suppose it is probably technically possible that my secret room could be next to that curse room as well, but I'm not sure about the layouts of the rooms next to it, to be honest. I didn't really check it out too well, so it might also just be to the left of that room right there. And yeah, it definitely could be, so I'm just going to place a bomb there to speed up this room. It wasn't there, unfortunately, but it more or less cleared out the entire room instantly, so that is pretty nice. But again, as I have said in the previous run, I believe as well, wouldn't mind a little bit more health. It would just make life a little easier. Magic Fingers is very tempting with 28 coins, actually. I might go for that. That's the health I was asking for, so that's good. That's another soul heart. That is also a possible 9-volt battery. Yep, that's an actual 9-volt battery, which it does make this item a lot more tempting as a result. Another free item right there. Suddenly, once you got the hang of it, it suddenly became a lot easier to steal things, I'd say. I'm still somewhat tempted by that Magic Fingers, though. That's just gonna reroll everything, which is fun, but I think I'm okay with what my build is right now. Really, the only thing I would like more of is health, and we already doubled our health in that one room just now, so I'm not even too concerned about that, if I'm honest. No idea where my super secret room is, but not really bothered about it either, and definitely just skipped over the yeah, definitely wasn't going to be there. Definitely just skipped over that little battery right there. I was hoping not to really pay attention to it, but then it kind of got stuck in my head. At least we can go into our curse room somewhat for free for a Hematemesis pill, shot speed down, infested. all that good stuff. At least Hematemesis can be good from time to time with this character, so I'm just gonna keep that one as it's better than nothing, I suppose, but it's not real. I'd like something better. If we can get a teleportation pill or something like that, especially with an XL floor here as well, I wouldn't... Oh god, this is a room. Let's just push that to the corner there. I do want to blow up some of these. Yeah, I figured. If I could just put that in the corner there, then is that problem solved? Look at how many blue flames this is in one room. I've never seen this room before, but I will take full advantage of it. Only got 2 soul hearts, but that's still pretty good. It wasn't that many fire. I mean, it was that many fires, but you have like a 10% chance to actually get a soul heart from it these days, so it's not too terrible with the odds that we had there. Just gonna take all of this and move on. But yeah, I assume that we're gonna reach our boss rush at least, and if I can find a way to teleport out of it, then I can steal an item out of it, and that would actually be pretty nice. Got a bunch of health on this floor already, so that's looking pretty good. All in all, if we can keep up this level of positivity, then I feel like we're going to have a pretty good Hush fight, hopefully. It is a little tempting to blow up those skulls because each one of them can contain a card, and that could therefore help me teleport out of the boss rush if I do manage to reach it in time. Our damage still isn't like amazing or anything, but I feel confident that it's probably good enough against Hush, simply because a large problem with the Hush fight as well is just the amount of enemies you're having to deal with at the same time. And that is more or less instantly resolved by the amount of just explosions we cause. I will use that world card immediately because that is pretty good information. And let's just see if we can speed this up a little bit. I think it's likely that we're going to be okay here in terms of speed. But it is kind of nice to know I have to go south first before going north to gather a bunch of stuff. It's also nice to know where my secret room is, so that makes life a little bit easier. Really, a map for an XL floor is just a very nice thing to have. I'm hoping it's not a greed shop, but simultaneously, I could just keep all my coins for Hush as well, because there is a shop there, and hopefully there'll be a donation machine there as well then. But hard to guarantee, I suppose. That's not a great curse room right there, but figured I might as well try since I'm here anyway, and perhaps I can steal something from the shop if it is just a regular one. We shall find out soon enough. I don't think I fought greed yet during this run, but I don't really remember either, so we'll just find out what we get here in a second. First, 5 more bombs. That makes our bombs a little bit more tempting to use as well, because the gas cloud is pretty good. And that is the backpack, which I guess I might as well try to steal. Might as well take it as well if I can't steal it. Never mind. I was negative about my little thief there once, and since then he's just started stealing everything. So pretty good, pretty good. Just gonna put everything in here, I think. 15 coins remaining, which is more or less perfect. I was just gonna put as many coins in as possible, but this is more or less ideal. But we do still not have a way to teleport out. Simultaneously, didn't really check it either when I was in that shop just then, if there was a card or something for sale, so fair enough. Getting a lot of items from chests as well. Also, once again, very happy about having flight, because that room just goes a little bit quicker, it's all a little bit nicer. Good stuff all around. I could go for a couple more blue flames, I suppose, as well, but the odds are just not that great, and destroying one blue flame with one bomb just seems wasteful. So I'd rather not. There is greed. At least we managed to find him eventually. If we end up getting a 50% off, that might be good for the Hush floor as well. And instead we just get a bunch of money, which could still be good. I will take that. Wasn't sure if I had blown up a shopkeeper yet, so that's why that had to happen. Could do this room. Not really feeling it though. Having said that, we did get a lot of things. I will take that over the poop trinket, I suppose. We have gotten a lot of things out of golden chest so far, so it is a little tempting at least, but I wouldn't mind speeding this run up a little bit. So far, the only thing I'm really missing is just a bonkers amount of health. And if I could get that, then I'm feeling pretty good. But this build is fine enough to beat Hush for sure. Plus, I'm playing okay today, so I'm not too worried about my health either. But it is Hush. Hush can be tricky, and occasionally Hush doesn't want to cooperate either. So it is nice to just have all the safety in the world. Plus, there is... I was going to say there's plenty of time before the boss rush, but there really isn't. There's 2 minutes remaining, I suppose. So I'm just going to check out one more room there. And if it's not... If there's no teleportation there, I'll probably skip the boss rush unless there's something just incredible in there. I'm not really sure what I'd be looking for. Maybe like soy milk or something with Jacob's Ladder. That would be pretty fun. But if there's not something like that, I will just move on instead. Assuming I can kill Mom in time, of course. But I have a pretty good feeling about it. There is the Fallen, which isn't really a problem. I'm just going to place a bomb down there because I recall that works pretty well. Got Black Powder, which goes well with... the sludge we were already leaving behind, because it's kind of hard to tell you're really doing anything. And we'll just place a bomb here and put it in the bottom. Just hoping that that door would open. I'm going to try it again. There we go. And that ended up dealing a pretty substantial amount of damage, I would say. For the most part, this fight's just going to be running around for a bit. The sludge is actually pretty good against the foot because it keeps her in place for a while. And we got Dark Boy for not taking damage in the depth switch, I guess I've never done before. Genuinely forgot, but fair enough, I'll take that. This... I mean, we do have the backpack, I suppose, so might as well try. Sure. That actually works out really well, because it means I can put this here, and I can still steal something. So, fair enough. This is pretty fun, but it's not amazing. This is also pretty fun and probably slightly better. What am I doing again? Cathedral and Hush. Doesn't really work great against Hush to have the contagion. So I will just take this and leave. So yeah, getting a shovel there was pretty lucky. It means that we can still steal something and just leave. And the Mr. Me item from this point on probably isn't going to be as good anyway. I think I have to actually select it to charge it as well, so I'm just gonna try to charge my shovel first. But oh no, they are both charging actually. Fair enough. I didn't know it worked that way. That's actually pretty good. I'm not loving my damage. When I was just fighting little Gertie there, I realized that the damage I'm dealing isn't incredible. I mean, these die pretty quickly though. I don't know. I definitely want to try Hush, and if I die, I die. I mean, it will happen eventually, so I might as well just give it my best shot, and if the run fails, then it fails, but the more progress I can get towards getting those cathedral kills over and done with, the better. I will just play with this for a while. Genuinely forgot about the bag there, and suddenly that circle scared me. Did we get one fly? Or was that fly already there? The fly must have already been there, surely. Because of the rotten baby there. But for a second, it looked like we got one fly out of that chest. It's kind of nice to get chests like that when you have a golden key as well, but we got that golden key a little bit late. And I will just dig everywhere, because there is a chance that we can get a crawl space every time we use the shovel, I believe, and it's not bad. It's not bad to get a crawl space, so might as well go for that. Secret room's not over there, so let's just move on. And try not to take too much damage. I think the fly is actually doing pretty decently against some of the enemies as well, so I'm happy about that. The intruder is probably helping out a little bit here and there. But getting the shots, the tier rate increase the moment well, as long as I just keep shooting in the same direction. It is pretty good if you're just going in one direction, and against Hush in particular, that is genuinely quite decent. Simply because, well, you're usually just shooting in one direction anyway, so it does help out a little bit. Probably more than Contagion, which I think only really gets applied once in the fight itself. So it becomes a little lackluster. It does clear a group of enemies pretty good, and it is really good in just clearing other stuff as well. This is not too terrible compared to what I currently have, but it's not amazing either. I will look for my secret room first in case I can actually Get a little bit more Devil Deal chance from the shopkeeper in there. But yeah, tempted by that trinket right there, because it does give us just a little bit more health. It'll give us 2 more red hearts for the Hush fight, I think. Provided we don't get some sort of catastrophic failure somewhere along the line. But it should, arguably it should be that much at least. Just gonna put that there. There is the crawl space that I mentioned previously. That's not an item I want, but I will just clear the room to get that back. I could take it actually, because it does have the sad bomb effect at the same time, so that does become pretty good. But I don't like the unpredictability with where it actually spawns. It's probably not even unpredictable, I just don't know where it is. That's really the main thing. I'm gonna keep this Ace of Clubs until I reach a big room again, I think, because that's just a great way to get rid of a lot of enemies and get a lot of bombs. So we'll just play this machine for a while. I do have some time. I don't need to worry about time too much. Hierophant, always good. Yeah. Is there... I will just use this. I don't know if we have the Necronomicon unlocked already for using the death card like 4 times, but I do need to actually do that at some point, and it's one of those things I keep forgetting. Like, there's a couple of these weirdly niche unlocks that it's very easy to forget about, and using death card definitely isn't one of those because it's just not that complicated. But there is stuff like, while having homing, use the magician card and stuff like that, which is it's so easy to forget about stuff like that. So if I remember them, I will get them. Death cards I'll just get whenever, because they show up all the time really, so it'll happen if it hasn't happened yet. But there's also a decent chance that the Necronomicon is already unlocked. Come on. Oh, this is... yeah, I was complaining about my damage, but it's really not that bad. Okay, yeah, that does... okay, that is a little bit more tempting than what I currently have. And let's just try to steal it first. Yep, it's just been a really good thief lately, and I think that might be my last thief usage. I think I would rather have the shovel, but yeah, Sulfur is pretty good. Against Hush, even better, probably. Because having long range is just amazing against Hush. It's really one of the best things. That's a lot of red chests that I can easily get to. It's Guppy's Paw, which I think I prefer over the shovel. And that's a knife. And Knife Brim is fun, but it's not like super cool. Spooky is kind of fun though. Because against Hush you do just kind of spook everything away that way. Yeah, I think I'll take that. And then go into the crawl space. Is this gonna cause problems? Having a crawl space and a Devil Deal? Probably not, right? No, it just puts me back here. Alright, fair enough. I will just take this. Because, yep, another Devil Deal. Due to my trinket, we're going to get a red heart container every floor we do, and that's 3 more soul hearts for the fight. So that's pretty good. We're gonna get the negative effect happening a lot as well, which is pretty nice. Genuinely kind of tempted to go to Delirium instead of the Cathedral. Because Delirium isn't very fun, but if you have a lot of defense, it's better. And I do have a lot of defense right now, it's just that my damage isn't great, but I do have Sulfur. Yeah, we're going to Delirium. I've changed my mind on this run again. Yeah. Ah, God, Cathedral is gonna be a mess, and maybe at some point I'll just do 4 Azazel runs in a row, all going to the Cathedral, because it's very tedious to try and unlock it. But any chance that I have to kill Delirium somewhat guaranteed, I do want to take that. Because Delirium is difficult and unpredictable. And I do not care for it too much, so any way we can make it safer, I will take that. For Faded Polaroid has its uses that I currently cannot use yet, I think. For the most part, right now, it's just a kind of okay trinket, but I'd rather just have the very large quantity of health that I'm going to get from the trinket I have right now. Kind of forgot about this Ace of Clubs. Although I could just use the Ace of Clubs in the Hush fight, I guess. That probably works really well. I might actually save it for that, yeah. Plus we haven't seen a big room yet anyway, or as far as I can remember at least, so... Yeah, no real big rooms. Fair enough. I'll take that. Anyway, just spooking out some eyes by standing next to them, and hopefully... Let's just not take any damage during this fight. Doesn't really matter if I take one hit, I guess, because of the Eternal Heart that I'm going to be getting anyway, or the Red Heart rather. But I'd rather just avoid it if I can, I suppose. Also another instance where shooting in one direction for a long period of time isn't too difficult, because it's really just what you do during this fight for the most part. There is the Hush door opening in front of our eyes, and let's have a good time. Hopefully we do not get a curse of the not being able to see items. And indeed we didn't. We get a golden key, so I can open everything else for free as well. And yeah, I would have gone to Cathedral had this build been worse, but the build's just been kind of amazing. That's part of the conjoined transformation, but this is horrendous. So it's a difficult choice for sure. Let's see what is in our other item room. More health. That's not bad. I will not say no to that because Guppy's Paw is more or less going to carry this. Might as well buy everything here. Oh, we got Mom's Contact for, I don't know, getting the Mom transformation or just picking up a bunch of Mom items, I suppose. I don't know how this is even going to work, but I'll just buy it anyway. Quickly exploding bombs is probably not the best thing I need right now. And, yeah, let's just do a fun little boss fight here, right? Jacob's Ladder Brimstone, by the way, is gorgeous, and it's just a good time. Sulfur is just a lot of fun. Sulfur is really just the only Brimstone I get now, and I do really appreciate it, because Brimstone is a very strong effect. And genuinely, I would like to just get regular Brimstone again some more, but this is a very good substitute for my own personal uses of it, I suppose. But just look at this. I don't need to worry. I can just stand over here and more or less dodge everything without having to worry about whether my tears are actually connecting. There's a bunch of zippy zaps going on the entire time I shoot, which is always a good time. And there's Robo Baby 2.0, also in this fight. So what else could you possibly ask for? I have an Ace of Clubs, which I will almost certainly forget to use. But if I don't forget it, it might get rid of a bunch of enemies from time to time. I want to mostly use it against those things he summons on the floor and start just spitting out tears all over the place. So it might not even get to the point where he's even going to spawn those. Because it's a little random whether or not he decides to do it. But the odds are pretty good that is going to happen somewhere during this fight. So I will definitely save for that. Because the flies are not really going to be much of an issue here with the amount of damage that we're dealing. I didn't really pick the best hole to jump to try and go through those tiers there, but... And that's another hit of damage. We are almost getting to the point where using Guppy's Paw is becoming feasible, but I think I will actually just avoid using Guppy's Paw until the very last moment. Also, the Intruder is confusing me, I'm realizing now, because the Intruder got rid of my head. And now, I don't know exactly where my hitbox is, and that's why I'm taking a lot of silly damage. But hopefully we can avoid doing that too much. If we end up just losing most of our health here, then I guess I could still go to Cathedral. Like, that is still an option. But I'd really rather go to Delirium with this build. Just because it's nice to get out of the way. I couldn't really find a good place to stand there, unfortunately. Yeah, taking a lot of damage here, which is a bit of a shame, but not unmanageable. Like, for something like this, it's also not too bad of an idea to just suddenly bombs. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with at the same time. Oh my goodness. There is a lot of bombs on the floor, so I should probably... Oh wait, I got Sad Bombs Brimstone, don't I? I'm just gonna have a good time with that, I think. Oh, I took so much damage during this. Oh my goodness. It is very unfortunate how this has happened so far. And yet I still am kind of tempted to go for Delirium, even though my health has just more or less dropped to 0 right now. I've got taken some really silly damage during this fight, unfortunately, which does happen when you're feeling overconfident. But also, I think I might just stop taking the Intruder, because I don't think the positives really outweigh the negative fact that I can't really tell where I am in a lot of instances. I guess especially with Spirit of the Night, it's a little bit tricky to say. Also, we unlocked Eden's Blessing for fighting Hush. We unlocked the secret exit or whatever, which we'll get to. That is going to be the Repentance content. We have a large quantity of bombs. Enough, I'd say, to keep us going for a little bit. And our health has lowered a bit, but not to anything unusable. How do we fully charge? Oh, right, we have the 9-volt battery. That's how we fully charge this sulfur right there. Right, okay. I'm just gonna try Delirium. As much as I may regret it in the end, because I am taking a decent chunk of damage, and my damage isn't great. And let's see what we can do. We haven't gone to the Void yet in this playthrough, so that's kind of nice. Because we bought that card item, we now have a portal in the first room that disappears if you leave this room, but it will take us to our secret room. You can tell it's going to be the secret room because it's blue. There's also the possibility of a gold one, which leads to the item room, and a red one, which leads to the boss room. But this floor is going to have a large quantity of boss rooms, so that's probably one of the reasons why there wasn't a red portal there. But I'm not 100% sure how the item works either, so that doesn't help. It's a new item, I think, from Repentance, and it's pretty fun. It does. I mostly like it for secret rooms, but it is also kind of nice to be able to go into your item rooms without having to spend keys on it. We are going to see a couple of floor types which we haven't seen yet in this floor, like this one right here. I guess we've seen one in the daily challenge at some point. But this is the chest. There's a bomb there. Genuinely startled by a singular bomb in the video game, but no worries. So I'm a little bit less concerned that this boss appears to be scared by my spooky items, so that does make it a little bit better as well. But eventually we're gonna make it through this fight. And I kinda hope I can get some either teleportation in this floor somewhere, because if we fight Delirium, I'd rather just teleport out and do a different boss first. Like, I'd love to do all the bosses first before Delirium, because that way we can just get a little bit more health going on, and possibly get some more damage as well. That would just be really nice to have. But we'll take what we can get ultimately. I'm still struggling a bit to see Tinted Rocks as well, so there's a good chance there's just not any one of them here. But if we could get a Tinted Rock, then that would be nice. Also, just being able to find your secret room on this floor is just really nice, because it's huge. It's a big floor, and it can be very difficult to find your secret room regularly. So that works out. Oh boy, you are shooting weirdly. You are barely even moving your head and tears are coming out of you. Oh, yeah. There are some difficult rooms in this, and then you have stuff like this where it's just a basement room with nothing really in it. And I'm hoping to get a lot of that going on, but we will take what we can get, ultimately. If I take one more hit of damage, it's probably good to use Guppy's Paw at least once to keep on soul hearts and not... It doesn't matter if I lose my Eternal Heart? Not really, I suppose. Just thinking about it, actually, I don't really get a benefit from this Eternal Heart other than maybe getting to half a heart when I take damage, which might activate my negative effect a little bit prematurely as well. Plus, I can pick up red hearts the moment I get to my red heart range. So actually, I think I will just save as many red hearts as possible until I genuinely have no other choice. But it is going to take a minute before we're done with this floor because of all these strategies. But hopefully it's going to work out. I do genuinely hope we can defeat Delirium at least once here, because it's, again, it's such a nice boss to get out of the way with any character. And I'm not loving my damage. There is an infested card, which, fair enough. I could just give this one some coins, because we have plenty of coins to go around right now anyway. With And that does happen from time to time as well, where the room changes a bit. We got a soul heart in there, which I guess I'll just leave there until it's actually time to start fighting bosses. It's probably not a bad idea to just leave every soul heart on the floor until it's time to actually start collecting them all. This was more or less the one thing I didn't want from that baby right there, but you can only get so much. I think we have, yeah, we do have more trinket space than previous, so I can just take that without thinking about it. Plus being able to see crawl space is actually kind of nice, so hopefully we can get something like that out of this. I should probably use sulfur more as well than I am, but I'm surprised I didn't get hit there. Yeah, I should probably use sulfur more because it charges really quickly anyway, but genuinely my tears are fine. It's getting me through the rooms pretty easily. If I had a homing or something like that, I would probably consider using it more because homing brimstone is a lot better than homing tears for sure, but it's working out, I'd say. And now, I will say I kind of forget what it looks like when this trinket shows crawl space rocks and if it's going to be particularly visible. I'm actually just going to quickly read the description of it. Blink every 10 seconds, right. And I think it usually, at least it used to blink the moment you entered the room. And then maybe it'll just keep blinking after that as well, but I don't know if it's worthwhile to stay in a room for 10 seconds. It would be kind of good if we at least found like a tinted rock somewhere that we can play around with. But I suppose that'll happen when it happens. There are 2 boss rooms over here. Each one of these can be delirium. I guess that's a pretty good reason why to keep that eternal heart as well. But I will leave all of that on the floor and come back to that when needed. The moment we get any sort of teleportation, I will just start going into every single boss room as well. But until that point, or unless I have no other choice, I will just avoid it for as long as possible. There is probably a super secret room on this floor as well, and I genuinely have no idea how to even start looking for it, so I will not bother. It's an unidentified pill. Could have been telepills and could have teleported me into the boss room as well, technically, but I'd play with those odds. This is also a pretty good trinket to get in not this floor, but overall a pretty good trinket. That's the stars, that's teleportation. Alright, we're gonna start fighting some bosses now, and if it's delirium, we're going to leave and hope that this stars card doesn't just teleport me back into the same room, which I don't know if that can happen, but it seems like the kind of thing that would happen in this game, wouldn't it? And yeah, this is also another reason why I'm not using sulfur, because this is working. Yeah, with brimstone that's actually pretty fun, I would argue. That is Brownie, which also isn't too horrendous with Jacob's Ladder, because all the things he spawns are just going to go away immediately, thus making the fight a little bit nicer. I'm also not sure. That's another guppy piece. Definitely not better than what I currently have, but pretty good. I'm not sure if I want to use Brimstone against Delirium, or if I want to just have the intensifying tears effect and just shoot really quick. I'm not sure if I'm really going to get a benefit from Sulfur now that I think about it. That's the lamb. Somewhat unusual to see in a place like this, but not impossible, I suppose. Not loving this attack, but making it through. And he did it again. Good. At least the flies are still going towards this boss right here. There we go. That's one part gone. Jacob's Ladder doing a decent amount of work here to make sure I'm actually hitting both parts of him, but I would like to get rid of that first. Simply because I find it a little bit unpredictable when he shoots those flames. And with that, it just becomes a matter of shooting to the right for a while and hopefully avoiding the remainder of his attacks. And the damage is not... Is that conjoined? No. Yes. Okay. I am kind of simultaneously a little bit more interested in keeping my tears now. But also Brimstone with conjoined is fun, which makes this somewhat of a tricky situation. But right now I can just... I have a lot of Jacob's Ladder going on right now, and that is also pretty great. There's a lot of health on this floor as well, actually, so that's pretty good as well. So far, not really making use of my lucky rock telling me where the tinted rocks are, because to my knowledge, I haven't seen one yet. That is death. surfing on his little surfboard there. But yeah, this seems pretty good. This might be better than Sulfur, but simultaneously, 3 Brimstone shooting out of you is also pretty fun. I don't. This seems better though. Like, look at how many tears are currently coming out of me. If I can just manage to shoot in one direction the entire fight, then I feel like that surely must be better than this. I'm gonna try out Brimstone here. And with Loki's horns as well. It is a lot of Brimstone. Oh god, this is actually going to be a tricky decision ultimately, I think. I think either way it's going to be fine, but I'm just trying to figure out what the best is at this point, and I'm genuinely tempted to go for this. Just because my tear rate just becomes absurd when I just keep shooting in one direction. That was a death effect. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out for sure. That was a fun room right there with some of those fireflies, burning flies. They shoot at you and circle around you, but they sort of disappeared instantly instead. There's pins here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can really not do this, huh? Tears down, that's not what you want to see. There is Mom. We have managed to do this fight before without taking damage. Hopefully we will not change that this time around. I do kind of like having that soul heart right there. There we go. This... Oh. This is fun. Especially with the sad bombs that we already have. Yeah, that's actually probably really good. Oh, with Brimstone though. Oh no. Okay, yeah, I think it's about time to start making the decision of Brimstone sad bombs or not, because that's a combo as well. Many champions in this room, don't love that, but we're making it through. Just need to not shoot at this enemy for a minute. Managed to do it eventually. I will just grab that soul heart in that one boss room, and then I think I'm just gonna start killing the remaining bosses. I could technically save picking up that soul heart until a little bit later, but I'm just kind of... I'm lazy. I kind of just want to not hope that I don't take that unnecessary damage right there, if I'm being honest. I'm also tempted to not use my stars card if I find Delirium now, because I've already found so many bosses, but simultaneously, some items are just so good. And if you just get one of those game-winning items from one of the bosses there, it would be a shame if you end up dying because you were just a little bit too neglectful. I even have a stars card. I don't really have an excuse not to teleport out, other than this might be a little quicker. But if I find a boss now, I just do this and it's gone, you know? So, yeah, I'm just gonna go here first. That's Delirium. I teleported out to the very bottom of the floor. If I can find a way to not accidentally take damage on the way to those other bosses, that's good. Also, with this item I picked up, I can still just place bombs as well, which I guess I should have probably mentioned if I stand still. But if I'm moving while using my bomb, it will be one of these missiles instead. And it's pretty good with sad bombs or any bomb improving items, because it just ends up doing a lot of damage. We do still get to fight Isaac, so that at least sort of counts towards doing the cathedral, right? I'm pretty sure it does. This still... I previously mentioned that it is a little bit more tricky to fight Isaac now, and that you can't... That, yeah, it's more easy to like dodge his pillar attacks, and that you used to be able to stand in the corner. You can still pretty much just stand in the corners, and it works most of the time. I've just had a little bit less luck with it, I feel, from time to time. And that's just a couple bombs away from winning the fight. Alright. That is a bunch of health, and yeah, definitely don't regret it. Plus, it's a little bit more range. I don't think my tear rate is really going to see the effect of that, but... Alright. I think I'm gonna just try my tears for a while, and after that, if it doesn't work out, I'll just switch to Brimstone. But first, let's just do this. Delirium is a fun boss because he turns into all the different forms of the other bosses. And also just shoots rings of tears around all the time. And in theory, it's a pretty good boss. In practice, there is a couple of attacks which are more or less undodgeable, and that's not the best. So that's why I don't love this boss. I'm gonna use Brimstone. I'm tired of this. I hope that slowdown goes away somewhere. Also, the I'm Drowsy pill is apparently just really good against this boss as well, because it slows down all of his tears all the time, and that's just really great. But yeah, the mom's foot attack, occasionally it just spawns tears all around you while it's still in the air. That's not fun. Oh my god. Also, sometimes it just takes a year before he decides to actually switch forms, which isn't fun. Anyway, I'm just gonna hold my Guppy's paw. Hope that I can do as much damage here as possible. And the fight bugged out, because as you can hear, the boss music has disappeared. And that is actually very likely a good thing, because usually this means that it's gonna just end up dropping 1,000,000 hearts all over the place from time to time. Probably when like forms like these die. Yeah, suddenly just 1,000,000 hearts drop. So that's also, in theory, this is a really good boss fight. In practice, it is incredibly broken a lot of the time. And it has some attacks which just aren't that great. And it's weird as well that this is the case, because most kind of awkwardness of the original Isaac and Rebirth and whatnot have been kind of reworked in Repentance. And then you have this, where suddenly I am in an entire room filled with red hearts, and I am no longer as concerned about the fight, because it's just a lot of health available for me in case I take any damage. And as long as I fight on the left side of the screen, I'm gonna be okay. But it looks like I don't regret my choices of going to Delirium at least, so I'm happy about that. Getting any Delirium kill, even when it bugs out entirely, I don't mind. I just want to win. And I am entirely okay with how that ended up transpiring. But there you go. That was our first Delirium kill of this save file. And that was yet another great attempt at trying to go to the cathedral. And just getting a lot of other stuff done. I'd argue that I'm not unhappy with how that ended up transpiring. We have a win streak of 20, so that's pretty good. We actually killed Delirium now, which you can tell from the post-it being covered in blood and being kind of torn up and everything as well. We made some decent Eden progress, so all in all pretty good. We unlocked the Repentance path as well, so from this point on, we might go in there from time to time. See what we can do with that. We do still have another character to unlock as well, which is related to that, so that's good, but simultaneously, don't love this character, so we'll see what happens with that. But for now, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Next time we play, I might remember that I previously said I was going to play as Isaac with the D6, and I hope to see you all there. Bye bye.